We are live.
Good evening, all. This is Detician Flora from Oasis Fertility. Today, again, I have come up with another topic like hormones and their effect on your weight. So let's see what are the hormones going to affect your, whether it might be your weight gain, whether it might be your weight loss. Let's go into the slides and let's know what are the hormones which can affect your body in your daily life. So hormones related to weight. So nowadays, as we have been listening to the like so many of hormonal imbalance issues, as we so many the as the studies shows that most of the women who has been suffering with lot of hormonal related issues, like in a everyday lifestyle. So as we have been doing so much of diet, so much of physical activity, but still we are on the same weight. We are doing so. We are affecting. We are on being on so much of effects. We are not doing it, but we are same on the same weight. It is because of your hormonal imbalances. Well, we have been so many hormonal issues. It has been coming to losing your weight or hormones, which plays an integral part, which is more important to your body. So hormones and their effect on your weight can be reason behind your stuck of your weight. See, doing so much of weight loss. I mean, exercises or whether it might be diets, but still are on the same weight. So let's check out what are the related problems and what are the hormones which has been affecting our body. So it is like our body is like, for example, car with the fuel only, it can move. So as the our body is related to the hormones where it is related to the hormones with such an effect like it has been related to everything, whether it might be central nervous system, whether it might be brain, whether it might be your liver, whether it might be your kidney, everything which the organs and the tissue, everything is related to the hormones. So as it has been with the fullest, which has to be from the hormones it is made up of. We should be a well balanced diet with the proper exercise, which can imbalance your hormonal issues. So let's see, like what are the causes which has been affecting your hormones, like a long gap between your meals. Yes, with it here's like you're suffering from the hunger, but you are not able to eat it properly, you're giving a longer gaps, it might raise your acidity problems, you cannot bloat for yourself. So that is the reason where the longer gaps, where a dietitian always doesn't recommend that for a heavy meals, for only always suggest you to go with every second hourly meals, where you can have it for every second hourly but not going giving a longer gap with the heavy meals. So starving again, where you're feeling hungry but you're not in the consumption of going and taking a dying of supper. Suffer like you're not able to eat it, you cannot eat it, you are suffering from the hunger, where it causes the hormonal imbalance in your body. so by eating is like consumption of large amount of that you're overeating. Yes, where you eat it but you still feel hunger. That is also causes you for the hormonal imbalance. So always make sure you have to be checked like how much are you eating it. You're eating but still your hunger, like you're overeating for yourself. It should be like something where it has been inhibiting your body. You have to be always be checked like what making you eat so much. Always you have to be go through all this. So taking a sedatives or any kind of steroids. Yes, of course, the people who has been uh, mostly nowadays the women or men who have been stressed out fully and they are being stressed so much with their work, whether they are not in a proper sleep, they have been used to do their sedatives. Like if you're not getting a proper sleep, you are taking a medicine for a sleep. Yes, right. So and whether you might be depressed, whether you might be mentally illness, so you have to be, you are used to for all your sedatives or steroids. So that is also causing you. So, poor or insufficient water intake. Yes, always water is number one, where we have to be always be hydrated. Where it can the excessive inadequate water intake of any dietary complications can be, components should be around a proper sufficient hydration is most important to our body. So always make sure. It can also cause you for the proper or insufficient water intake, can also cause us an hormonal imbalance. The imbalanced diet, which is most important nowadays, hammy food, which is not at all, and the processed food, artificial sugars, and the colored foods, which is not at all to be encouraged for yourself, can also cause for the hormonal imbalances. So high stress level, as I was talking to about, the studies has shown that the n number of people who has been stressed out, like nowadays, right from the adulthood to the old people are stressed out because of so much of, it might be because of the work, or you are stressed out with any other some other works which can be related, the high stress levels might be related to many other complications, whether it might be high blood pressure, whether it might be sugars going up high, whether high heart rate levels, where you can also go with any kind of heart related issues. So make sure that is also causing you for a hormonal imbalances. These are the causes where it has been triggering you a lot nowadays. So make sure these are the causes which are being going through, where you have to be get rid of. So hormonal related to weight gain. So hormones which has been, so many hormones are nowadays, that different kind of hormones which has been triggering in our body, that which are we unknowingly we are gaining the weight. Okay, whether it might be thyroid hormones, as every patient comes to me, every consultation, whatever I do, whenever if I ask the patient, how do you start your day, when do you start your day, they simply they tell me that I start my day with them with thyroid tablet. So this is what for all the women, and as the study shows that the woman, almost 80 to 90% of women have been suffering from the thyroid hormone. Whether it only depends on your metabolic rate. Yes, it is only depends on your metabolic rate, how much active you are, how much physically related you are. It is showing you, like, the important thing is, like, if thyroid hormone relates to your metabolic rate. As your metabolic rate decreases, automatically your thyroid hormone increases. Where that is what we always suggest you for the physically should be active. Whether it might be hyperthyroidism, where you will be gaining your weight, and like hypothyroidism, where you will be losing your weight. Any kind of thyroid hormones which will trigger in your body weight changes, where it only depends on your metabolic rate, basal metabolic rate. So majorly it is your, you have to check whether how much active you are, how much for how many minutes can you are capable to do your exercise or physical activity should be there. So always make sure, depends only on the metabolism, how much metabolism metabolically active you are. So please do check your metabolic rate, and try to start over your exercises, and try to be on a physically active, like whether if you're feeling low to yourself, make sure if your thyroid hormones are being fluctuated, your values, if your values are being fluctuated, consult your doctor, and try to go with the proper medicine, with the proper food that would be help you for the thyroid hormone. And insulin is also, has seen nowadays with the leads to our weight gain. So insulin along with the growth hormone leads to a weight gain, where it is a anabolic hormone, where it is. the higher insulin, the insulin resistance in your body. Yes, that is what the fat gets accumulated in your body, where we have been seen everywhere like hyperinsulinemia, where like high sugars levels are going up high. The of course your thyroid also, if your metabolic goes down and if you're overweight, slowly your insulin resistance get into the body, where the fats will then the sugars will get stored into the body, where you will be getting where you will not maintain your weight, where you gain so much of weight without unknowingly you will gain your weight. So here ghrelin is also known as the hunger hormone, where it is the hormone which is present produced in your stomach. When you are hungry, it gives a signal to your brain. Okay, so always you have to be, if your hunger always, your ghrelin hormone, which automatically gives signal to your brain, like if you if you doesn't sleep overnight, if you be awake for a whole night, it always gives a signal to your brain that you are hungry, that you have to eat it. So always have a good sleep, a proper sleep, 8 hours of sleep. Do not be awake for the longer time. Do not stay for the longer time. Whether you proper sleep is most important. Where with a good food, good proper sleep, that is most important in your daily life. So always make sure that do not stay or do not be awake for the longer time, so that you eat less. Okay. The estrogen level, where it is the hormone which is present in the female sex or hormones that plays a vital role in the organ development and menstrual, where the estrogen levels, it is which is most important for the woman. Okay, the estrogen levels, the normal estrogen level, the normal development of your female sex organs, it is most the estrogen which plays it is important, and that is what it has to be in a proper way, that the proper sleep and a proper this one, it is more important. You have to be check out whether you are in a proper way of sleeping, whether it is a proper way of controlling the estrogen is like controlling the reproductive cycle that prepares for your body for the pregnancy, which the estrogen which can control you properly for the requirement of what other hormones which is related for the reproductive cycle which prepares for your pregnancy. Okay, and the next is like progesterone. Again is also main the estrogen, and the progesterone is again the female sex hormones which is again involved in your pregnancy, which is leads to a water retention and bloating. That is the reason it is the hormone where you can mostly in the pregnant women they be complaining like a lot of bloating has been seen in their bodies and all. It is the progesterone itself, which hormone itself, which gives you a normal symptoms like bloating and water retention, and it leads to a water retention and bloating. So this is the reason where you generally gain weight and you see the lot of different changes in your body in your pregnancy time. So testosterone levels has been seen in the male sex or hormone regulated from the male organs, which has been characterized to a male. So and nowadays we have been seeing in the females also, like PCOD, like high levels of testosterone, has been developing in the like females. Like nowadays, we are suffering from PCOD. Like there are also many kind of different symptoms. Like it might be acne or unwanted hair, which has been developing because of the high levels of testosterone, which has been developing in the females. And not only the PCOD and insulin resistance, and also leads to the in the testosterone, which is more in high, whether it might be females or males. It is not only the females but also PCOD and insulin resistance, which is most important nowadays, which has been so many complaints on these hormones. So that is what we have to be on a proper diet and a proper good exercise. The mainly depends on your lifestyle changes. What how much are you sleeping, how much physical activity are you doing, and what kind of foods are you taking around. That we have to be always check to minimum your hormones, and also as well as to check all your stress levels also. That should be more important. And cortisol hormones, so mostly it is called as a stress hormone, which is most important in your body. And sleep, whether it might be anxiety, whether it might be sleep, if you are stressed with or any other related, if you are stressed out, you need to take a time for yourself. If you are stressed out with your work, you have to take time for yourself to come down, to come out of the stress. Where you have to involve in such a way that whatever you like, whether if you are liking to be chilling out with your friends, you can enjoy it. Whether if you want to be hang out with the food and all, you can do it. But if you like any kind of music, whether you want to go for a walk, chilling out with your friends, evening walk, that would be help. That will really helps you to come out of the stress. So make sure not only to completely depending on your work, completely depending on your stress things, you have to come out of it, because stress hormones is way it is more responsible for the fat deposition in your body. So always make sure that your cortisol hormone, it will be in a normal state where you get when you be in a proper 7 to 8 hours of sleep at least. You have to, in a day you have to be on. So this is a neuropeptide, is also secreted like hormones which is produced in your secreted in by the neurons, where it is depending on the fat application of the fat tissues, where it is related to your uh, cortisol hormone. Okay, the cortisol hormone, the stress, the more less stressed you are, the more secretes a good and which is more involved in your it leads to, yes, as I told you, it leads to the cortisol hormone, where the less stress it is more important. The normal value of the cortisol is it is most important. So secretion of the neurons is more the sympathetic, as you're seeing everything related on your appetite, everything related on your energy levels, which how much energy are you putting and how much energy are you giving out of it. So everything depends on it. Stress hormones, and everything depends on the food, what how much it is your fat is being accumulated in your body, the tissues which has been utilized with a good signaling of neuropeptide hormone is most important, where it is involves in the application of the fat tissues, where it is related with the cortisol and the neuropeptide. It is both related to the food and related to the obesity, where the fat is being absorbed. And incretin hormones, where the glucolike peptides and the glucose independent insulin, the peptides secreted by the endocrine cells of the small intestines. It is the main signaling like which are being secreted, whatever the food are you taking, it is digested, and it is known that what food are you taking. If you are eating junk, this is the hormone where it reacts. It tells it itself tells that what kind of carbs are you taking, which food is from the carb, which vitamins are you taking, which fats are it is being utilized. It is the main hormone where it get utilizes. As you are taking fat, and the sugars can be related with the glucose independent insulated peptides, and the carbs and the proteins, the foods which are you taking, it is related to the glucolike peptides, where it leads and it stores the fats, and glucose dependent insulators which stores the fats, and glucose like peptides which will burn the fats. So it is all correlated like it has known like which kind of food are you taking, which kind of food it has been absorbed, which this is a hormone which gets secreted and endocrine cells which in the small intestines. So hormone related to weight loss, as we all these till now we have seen like weight gain. Now we are going to see with the weight loss. So leptin is responsible for the hunger satisfaction. So where it is a satiety of the hormone, where it is reduces the hunger pangs like leptin, where hunger is responsible, where the hormone which can makes you satisfied in your eating. So always it tells you like you are satisfied with your food, whatever you eat, it makes you sense that you are satisfied with your food. So overeating, it is not good. So with the leptin hormone, which makes you known that the satisfy hormone, which can makes you reduce your hunger pangs, that is what we don't overeat. If the leptin is normal to your body, which where you will not increase your weight, where you can maintain your weight by being a good amount of good result of your leptin in your values. Okay, so adipoline Pectin is like enhance the ability of the muscle where you utilize the carbohydrates from the energy. This is what it is correlated to the both. These two hormones are like the adipoline tissue, hormones which will tell you like how much it is important to the muscle mass. So this hormone which is most important to increase your muscle mass, where the fat will not get accumulated, where the metabolism gets breakdown. As the hormone increases, the muscle mass increases, the fat cells get breakdown. So it is like that. If the hormone, I mean, the value is low, your fat cells will get accumulated there. So that is what always for weight loss, we always tend to say that good amount of protein is related to for the weight loss. So always make sure if you are we're going for thinking for the weight loss and all, you have to first of all increase the protein intake, where you can increase your muscle mass so that your fat cells get breakdown and makes you into a proper, making it a proper muscle mass but not a fat mass there. So glucagon works again in the conjunctly with the insulin, where it acts to the opposite to the insulin. It is also the same. So as I told you the previous slide, like weight gain, where the insulin, the insulin resistance, where you can improper diet with like PCOD level, whether it might be thyroid, whether it might be testosterone levels, whether it might be like estrogen levels, if you're not normal to it, if you're taking too much of unnecessary unprocessed food, and if it is not proper diet with the physical activity, if your insulin resistance is being stored in the body. So this is the hormone where it works like it works in the opposite direction, where it can conjugation like insulin, where it can control your insulin by maintaining your food. So always make sure to be in a proper way of taking the hormones which can makes you feel better with the proper physical activity, where you can improve the metabolism, where you can get rid of insulin resistance. So follicular hormone is also released in the intestines, which makes you intake of proper fat. Again, it is correlated to as we have seen in the previous slide, which is responsible for the hunger, where you can satisfy which like what to be taken and how much food are you taking, like it has to be in increasing of what, this is the hormone where it has been satisfied with the hunger peaks, where you will be knowing like what kind of food can be satisfied by yourself. So this is the hormones which has been released in intestines, which will take a good amount of protein or a fat. It is responsible for your satiety of your levels, where it gives you a good amount, where it gives you a signal to the brain to that you are being satisfied with your hunger. And lecithin, equestrian like is a fat burning hormone, where it is most important. Then a good amount of equestrian hormone is present in your body. It is also good for to burn your fat, as you have to be increased in your physical activity, where you can burn more of the fat through this hormone. So let's see like how to maintain your hormones, like what to be eaten and what should not be eaten to maintain all these hormones. Like eat clean and healthy. Always make sure not to go with a processed food. Always should be clean. No artificial sugars, no artificial colored foods, which has been like fast food and the junk food should be avoided mainly to maintain all these hormones. So always balanced diet is number one, and regular exercise. Regular exercise is the main thing where you can improve your metabolic rate in your body, where which gives you, if you're doing almost, make sure like almost 150 minutes in a day where you can walk, or whether not only walking, whether you can go for a any kind of, whether it might be zumba, whether it might be gym, whether it might be jogging or a walk, some kind of physical activity should be include introduced for yourself with a good diet, good exercise, controlling your ingredients of food. Controlling is a major thing. What, how much quantity are you taking on out? So controlling is the main where you can only manage for yourself how much amount of food are you taking it. Quantity is more important. Okay. So always, if you have two sweets in front of you, two cups of ice creams in front of you, do not go and grab for two cups of ice cream or two sweets. Just cut down your calorie intake. Always cutting down the calorie deficit diet is most important for a proper balance functioning in your body. So de-stressed, as I told you, the cortisol hormone where you can increase by stressing out, and always you have to be stressed out, whether you can include like maintain through any kind of yoga asanas, or get rid of your stress by involving by whatever you have been liking, like you want to listen to your music or you want to play out, go out, hang out, you can do it, but do not stress out. You have to come and de-stressed. Always stress hormones can increase, and which can lead to deposition of fat, which has been seen in the previous slide. And main thing is, as stress and sleep, again, both related to the cortisol hormone, where I've been talking about like good sleep. It should be around 7 to 8 hours of sleep, where good quality of sleep is more important to your body, where a good sleep can maintain all your hormones with a good signaling, like a proper physical activity and proper quality of sleep, stress management, and well as consuming a good adequate protein, good adequate fiber, good adequate of calories, different food of different calories, not a simple carbs, but complex carbs, which is most important, which can be healthy, whether it might be your gut, whether it might be from your whole body, it should be always being healthy. So always be try to include all good, whether it's probiotic food, whether it might be a good amount of plant-based protein, or whether it might be vegan protein, or it can be also an animal protein. But make sure not too much of oils, not too much of fat to be consumed. A good, proper, a balanced diet where which can gives you a proper number of, it is more important of the calories and your protein, how much fat, how much of protein, how much of calories should be intake in the sedentary life, that is sedentary life, which is not at all good. So make sure you have to get a plan, and if you are suffering from a hormonal imbalances, try to consult your doctor, and with for a proper diet, you have to consult your dietitian there. So just as a healthy lifestyle with adequate, so these are the main things where you have to be start down with a good nutrition, good sleep, and exercise, as well as stress management. As the hormones, all everything is related to all these things. So with the good nutrition, good sleep, good exercise, and stress management, good as well as stress management is with a good hormones, which can release you can be maintain your weight, which also can be maintained through the hormonal balances. So make sure These four are most important to carry out today, to be or to remember, like nutrition, sleep, exercise, and as well as stress management, which works to be in a proper hormonal balances. So always make a change. If you're not having a good sleep, if you're not taking a good proper diet, if you're not going for any kind of physical activity, if you're stressed out with some other works, please do come out of it and plan accordingly. You have to schedule your plan and make sure you have to maintain these four, so that you will be balancing your hormones also. Okay, so always build a healthy diet for a balanced hormones. So healthy diet with the proper hormones will be good to you. So always make sure to build up a good diet, not a fake diet. It not might be any fake diets to be included in your daily life. A well balanced diet, a healthy diet for the hormones, balanced hormones. Thank you. Any queries? So here is a question like I hit gym daily, but I have not lost weight. Should I follow a keto diet? See, you go a gym daily, you're not losing your weight. It is not like a keto diet. It is not like any. See, it depends on like what kind of. First of all, you need to check. You're going to gym and you're still not losing your weight. You're trying for a keto diet. You want to try for a keto diet, right? So you're going for a gym, you're on a physical activity, you're not losing your weight. You have to be checked like why are you not losing your weight, and also should be check on your food habits. How much of calories, what food habits are being giving you are on. So whether if you're taking an artificial like junk food or artificial sugars. You have to get rid of all those. You have to come out of it. A low calorie diet with a proper protein and proper fat, uh, proper fiber content would help you there. And should I follow a keto diet? Keto diet we will not suggest for any kind of fake diets, but it related to your weight loss there. First, we'll be giving you a balanced diet. If you're not losing it, then you need to consult a doctor. You have to check what kind of hormones imbalances are you going through in your body. Then you have to consult your doctor. I am 18 years having PCO for a year. My height is like 5'7", I am weight 60. What diet plan should I follow to control my PCOS? Yes, it's a good question. Like what kind of a diet PCOD has to be used? See, PCOD is like always we give a low glycemic index foods, which is high in fiber, and insulin resistance is where you can we will be increasing your insulin levels, where always make sure like low GI foods, like low glycemic index foods, where we always give like high fiber, high protein, which is with the low carbs, low calorie, which is more helpful in your PCOS diet. So if you want a proper diet schedule you wanted to follow, please consult a dietitian here. Like will guide you with the proper calories and protein intake. Well, like good amount of physical activity also is most important, where it shall guide you with the proper diet plan. My weight has been increased a lot. I go to the gym and do a proper weight training with 3 times a week. I do not have sugars at all. I have to cut down refined flour by my weight is 70. So it's the same thing here. Same as you're going to the gym, doing you're cutting off all the sugars and refined flours there, where you're weighing again into 70 kgs. So here you again you need to check your hormone imbalances which has going into your body, where you need to consult your doctor, where you have to check whether which kind of hormones have been triggering you in your body. please do consult your doctor, or according to your values, we might put you on a diet plan so that which works well accordingly by your hormones. I hope I have asked all your questions, and thank you for being live with us. And if you have any queries, please do connect to the scrolling number which has been displayed on the screen. And thank you. See you back again to the next live topic on the diet. Thank you.